Trainer will be on Urel, JPL on Garrosh. It is Team Dignitas in the blue.
Dignitas with a 2-0 lead in this series, and to the right side of the map we have their opponent with Yoda on Abathur, early Nazmas playing Leoric. We're seeing Zagrug on Murden this time, looking for those Storm Balls with Lutana on Tracer and Killusion on Karazim. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Freedom!
Gotta see if this Tracer is able to be effective. Granted, you have Karazim that can dive with her, provide a little bit of heals. You have Abathur with the Carapace build, obviously, but Raynor, as you mentioned, hits hard and he can shred her. And then when Zeratul, if he's able to get an auto attack on her with that Vorpal Blade and she tries to disengage and she's low on health, he can secure the kills and back up to his teammates.
And one of the things we just have to point out again, even though it was mentioned, of course, previously, is Bo5 on Urel. The impact that he has in the solo lane on any hero is absolutely astounding. But once he's on Urel, he is just brutal. In that backline, he is destroying so much here. And it's going to be super interesting to see how Freedom is going to deal with that in the long run here. For now, of course, Tracer will have to watch out for the taunts that we're seeing from Garrosh once level 10 hits, the auto attacks that come through Reyna and Zeratul. That's going to be where we're seeing Snitch in particular just roaming around and try to see if he can secure a few kills for them.
Yeah, Snitch is a babysitter right now. He's falling around Tracer, clearing out the waves that are being pushed in. Team Freedom trying to snipe a turret here and there, grab some experience, but Dignitas is doing the same in the bottom lane. They put some damage on the turret there, and the moment the sappers spawn, they rotate it over. They want to get map pressure, and they want to get it early against an Abathur.
Yeah, and right now we're also seeing that, especially on the side of Bo5, we're having him soaking two lanes at times to allow exactly the rotations that you just pointed out. With him trying to go from the top to the mid lane continuously, getting even a bit of assistance from Snitch here, it allows the rest of the team to go for the mercenary camps and now try and set up that bottom lane push.
Collusion finds himself on the other side of the wall, eats some turret damage, he was trying to get the damage on Snitch, and he did not have another dash. A bit of a mistake there by Collusion.
Yeah, going a little bit too deep here, trying to put some damage on, and then Zeratul jumping past the wall here. Bo5 wants the one-on-one against Nazmas, but as we of course all know, with an Abathur, you are never going to have fun on that solo lane in one-on-one situations.
Snitch might fall here though. Lutano goes in, but Wubby with the knockback will save his teammate's life. Snitch is able to back home.
Great save here for sure. I mean, the earlier kill against Killusion was definitely a bit of a little faux pas that we saw on the Karazim player. Nothing too crazy just happened because Zeratul was moving past that gate. And it's not really of too much of a consequence now, but it's the push at the top lane that we have to emphasize here, because this is where Freedom is currently making their mark.
Freedom should be careful though, with Garrosh peeling off in the middle lane and coming for a flank, as there could be a pick opportunity available. JPL looking for a target. The good news for Team Freedom is they have put all three heroes on the top that have a way to get away. You have the Wraith Walk, you have the dash from Karazim, and of course Tracer with her blink, so they easily sidestep him and continue to move to a different lane.
Yeah, Zagrug also working on the Stormbolt quest here, and Murden is already a terrifying hero without Abathur, but once that you get that symbiote assistance, he is an absolute monster, and that is something we've seen previously, especially once that the Soma transference on level 13 is in play. I also want to talk a little bit about Leoric here. It's nothing too crazy, but we have Consume Vitality taken on level 1. It's a bit of an old school style with Leoric, especially after the last mid-season brawl. We saw most of the Western teams head into Austin's Renewal as the level 1 quest, so now he's a little bit more dependent on the Skeleton Swing. Nothing too crazy again, but still noteworthy considering how the meta on Leoric started to change after Sweden.
Gives him a little bit more time to maybe stay alive if he didn't have the activatable that you normally see, looking to get those heals. Buy him more time for Tracer, especially in team fights later on. Sustain in the lane is always great too. Team Freedom finally making a power play for this fort in the top left corner, but look at the bottom right.
Exactly, that's the problem. The bottom right push right now, so we're going to see a trade in bell towers. The problem is simply that the bottom lane is normally what you're trying to focus on, because that's where the mercenary camps are. So that's actually pretty decent for Dignitas here and should give them value in the long run.
That it will. 7 connects for both of our teams. Team Freedom hanging in there in terms of experience as they move towards that level 10, where Abathur with the ultimate evolution will be helpful in their team to competition.
And also look at the level 7 that we're seeing now for Bo5. He actually goes into the Divine Seed here. So he wants to have the opportunity to transition between the lanes. Snitch here in a bit of trouble, but still able to survive. But coming back to that point, Wooby really preparing for him having to potentially continue to soak 2 lanes throughout the entire game. With them claiming the bell tower at the bot lane, they can set up a strong 4-man there. And Wooby wants to be more flexible on the map itself. So he's going away from a build that we normally see him where he goes into Invention Wrath very heavily on level 4 and level 7 and has that flexibility now to move between lanes quite quickly.
Yes, him and Zeratul will be the one Stitch to really kind of do the back work here for Team Dignitas. Staying in the match with a 3-man between Zillia, JPL, and Poik, rotate, pushing sappers. Wow, they actually get a few of those sappers in there, put some damage on top of that core. 34-32 with Team Freedom leading.
Yeah, these 2 shots definitely something that in the long run Freedom has to be careful about, especially with Garrosh being in play. You can always throw one in, and as long as they hold on to that bell tower, they can use that. But as you said, for now, Freedom is still in the lead on the objective. The question is just, is that gonna change once that we have level 10 and we are focusing on single altars or double altars on the map compared to the triple that we had previously?
Meal coming in and keeping that 4 on the top left. Nice and healthy as Team Freedom will heal that up. The longer they can keep that standing, the longer they can attempt to work on the middle for here.
And we have Karazim at the top lane together with Abathur. He can actually now take the camp, and that is pushing Dignitas then to a reaction. But for now, Zogrug is the one who has to jump out here, and he's not the only one that has a jump. Wooby can pull it off too, and he jumps in immediately again with his trade, trying to get the kill, and secures it. You are not hopping away from a Urel.
Urel will chase you all day, and Murden finds himself a victim to Urel, gets picked off, and the shots will go over to Team Dignitas. They take a lead 32-30, but Team Freedom, as he pointed out earlier, have a Karazim with sappers, looking to grab a few more shots from the top left.
And there's another 3 at the bot lane, so once again we're seeing Dignitas do well through the mercenary control here, and that's the advantage of that bottom lane. At the top, they're even trying to stop this onslaught. Lutano is attempting to escort their own in, but it does look pretty unlikely here, especially with Zeratul rotating in as well.
Yeah, and Urel can really stand her own, especially with level 10, finally connecting with the Ardent Defender. Those sappers should not be getting in, and they will be cleaned up. As Team Dignitas continues to hold the bottom lane, Reynard is hugging this tower, playing as safe as he can.
Yeah, the picture changed pretty quickly here. 32 shots, or 32 hit points now on Dignitas' core against the 27 that we are seeing for Freedom, and Freedom is realizing they should try and recapture that altar, that bell tower at the bot lane. Here comes the Void Prison though, they're trying to go for Zogrug here. There's no retreat path at this point. Already we're seeing Poik in trouble. That's a great move by Lutano as he gets the kill against Reyna.
They're looking for another one too, with Garrosh being the focus. Zogrug jumping in. Yoda here too with the Tracer Ultimate Evolution clone. Shouldn't be able to get the kill, but this gives it a little space to Team Freedom. They find a pick on Raynor. They'll look to get these sappers and open up the bottom of the map.
That was actually a great move by Lutano there. Getting the kill against Reyna helped them now to also get the camp that you just pointed out, and that should help them to regain control over the bot lane. And that's so important with the 2 altars that are going to spawn in just 18 seconds. So Freedom at the beginning really struggling a bit to hold bot lane control, and that resulted in Dignitas getting 5 extra shots against their core. But right now, taking that control again, finding the killer against Jimmy, and now also getting a good position for the 2 bell towers that are about to spawn.
Yeah, for now they feel like they have a real composition now with the Ultimate Evolution being a thing they can rotate in based on the cooldown of it. Karazim moves in for the ulti here on the bottom, but Team Dignitas isn't going to make a power play for that. They'll give it away. They want to be able to grab this tower in the middle.
Lutano has to be so careful. That damage out of Zeratul against Tracer is absolutely insane. Abathur helping out, but here comes the channel and it's successful. Freedom giving that up right now. Did not want to push into that position here, especially with Garrosh looking for the taunt and the lockdown. Dead even in experience. It's a close one.
It is a close one, and honestly, going into late game, I'm not sure who pulls ahead. You have a one-side Team Freedom with a bird and an Abathur hat, Karazim with the ability to charge down a backliner, Zeratul or Raynor to be fine targets for them. But on the left side, you have Zeratul with a cleave build at level 16 that comes online.
Yeah.
If Team Freedom groups up ever for a Void Prison, they have a self-contained wombo combo.
This is actually a pretty cool move here, going for the bosses quickly. The problem is that Dignitas reacts at the bot lane with another play for the bell tower, so it might end up in a bit of a lopsided trade here. The 4 shots are great, but is it worth giving up bot lane control again?
They're going to try and get top lane control, but with Zeratul continuing to spike toward that 13 and 16, being able to rotate with Wubby with that divine speed, Team Dignitas should be able to defend this for as long as they're capable of doing so. 13 coming around on the corner here.
An interesting pick is also that we have March of the Black Kin taken again by Eleoric. And you can make good arguments for it going up against the composition that Dignitas has. Because who are the targets here? You have Jimmy that you can try and capture. You have also Deckard Cain. But Zeratul, Urel can always move out. Garrosh has the throw available. You have even then Stay While and Listen where you can stop the opponent or capitalizing on it. So March of the Black King can actually find real value here if they can force Dignitas into a good spot on the map.
I think it's still more of the theme here for Leoric to just try and stay alive as long as possible. You get to stay with that level 10 pickup, even level 7, get the hopelessness, so you can try to make sure that you are attached to another opponent if you're able to land that life drain. So Team Freedom, hoping that Tracer will be able to use that extra time to find a kill or two with an Abathur hat.
Another altar is opening up on the map, and this is one that Freedom is going to give up because they just don't have the control at the bottom over any of the bell towers. So there's no retreat path for them. They don't have access to that one. But they took the top just in time, so we're currently having 4 shots fired. That puts Freedom down to 19 points. But again, we're even in bell towers on the map. And Freedom is actually doing pretty well, pushing the middle too. But it's all about the team fights here once again, as we have Freedom angling for a flank.
But Team Dignitas has 2 anchors they can go to. They have a bell tower on the bottom right and a bell tower on the bottom left. Snitch is the one who has to play carefully here, and he's playing very wary of Zugrug and the Stormbolt.
They have to be careful. You don't want to end up in a Freedom sandwich.
Although a Freedom sandwich sounds really tasty, I'm going to be honest with you. Pickles, mayo, taunt comes out. It's going to be Zugrug to be the focus here, thrown into a bell tower. He's able to jump away with the VP being used.
Yeah, they're going deep for this one. March of the Black King being used. He's trying to escape here, but Leoric goes down. That's the kill that Dignitas can secure here. And again, the move back from Freedom. 19 points on the core against 24. Both of the teams on level 14.5. And this was a 4 versus 5. As we see Urel at the top going up against the bell tower, trying to regain control of the top lane. Abathur doing the best he can to slow it down.
I gotta admit, this is an exciting macro game between both of our teams. We're pretty close in terms of score too, 24-19. The big one that's coming though is that 3 altar phase. Who will be able to control all 3 of them?
It's actually really interesting to me because within the European region, we don't see as many bell tower trades as we now have initiated from Freedom. Nice move again by Wooby here, going for the spray after the Ardent Defender, helped him to survive throughout the push power from Lutano and Collusion here. But Freedom being willing to give up bot lane control and going continuously for these trade and bell towers is actually something that I find super interesting here. And it makes it at times really difficult to get access to the altars for the North American team. This is where they struggle a little bit, but it's definitely something that Dignitas has to adapt to.
At the same time, I can see Dignitas losing 1 or 2 members, and suddenly the Camel's back is broken. You have a middle fort that's really low, you have the bell tower on the bottom right taking damage too. Team Freedom has a chance here to blow open the late game. It's just a matter of whether or not they can find that opportunity. Can they find a Rainer? Can they find a Zeratul to quickly snipe so they can open up the battleground and control space?
I absolutely agree with you. The Abathur factor here, with Mule in particular, allows them to keep their bell towers for a long time. And we've seen Leoric do a fantastic job to push out the mid lane and really threaten the bell tower on Dignitas' side there. The bot lane is also nearly regained, but Dignitas makes the play for the top now. The problem for Freedom is that, I mean, they obviously want to reach a late game with this one, you can really tell. But they are now down 9 points on the core. We have 20 on the side of Dignitas, 19 for Freedom. So at some point, they need to flip that switch, grab the middle bell tower, try to get that advantage. And if on behind that, they can win a team fight, all of a sudden the entire momentum of the game can shift. But we really haven't seen that many kills yet. It was mostly Dignitas that got a few, and a lot of those were against Leoric, who you don't mind losing in such a trade.
Speaking of possible kills, bottom right Sappers being controlled once again by Team Dignitas. Zugrug buys a little bit of time here, but remember, he's at level 16 and move. The moment you hit the 16, you can get more survivability or be able to jump away from fights. He has elected to move into stone form, so getting a little bit more health again, sustaining through, staying alive here. Bottom right Sappers collide with the bell tower, but not enough to get the full tower yet.
And you've been talking about 16, and especially Cleansing Touch for Karazim is going to be such a great tool for them now. And again, they're looking for a potential fight here. They're already moving in. JPL trying to control the fight a bit more, throwing Zugrug back and hoping to avoid these stuns. We had the pressure against Tracer, but Lutano gets the assistance, moves in and takes down Snitch. Zeratul is dead, and they're looking for more.
They're looking for more here. 2 go straight to the VP. Parting gift comes out from Lutano, but they have all 4 up, and the hats will keep them up. And guess what? Perfect timing too. Alter up in 10 seconds. Tom comes out and a toss. Big stay a while. Listen from Zalia. Boyki just shelling away with the pepper.
Poik with these auto attacks against Zugrug with the help of Abathur. They keep him alive.
Look in the middle.
And now we have in the mid lane, Tracer taking another one. Double altar up to the top. 18 seconds until Zeratul is back. And Tracer, Lutano here with the optimal conditions at LAN is able to get these kills in. The kill against Snitch was so impactful, so important. But Wooby is having none of that. You're not getting my altar.
Wubby gets the delay, and with Zeratul up at about 3 seconds, Team Dignitas can buy time. Abathur in the top right, is working on getting the channel. Zugwork by himself, goes for the jump, jumps over the bell tower. Wubby goes for the chase, but there is a bell tower to anchor here for Zugwork, so he should be safe.
That was so close, though. If there's no minion in range of that altar, then he can confirm that kill, he can get it. But once again, we're seeing them fighting for it. Nazmas, at least with a reduction in damage, trying to slow them down here a little bit. He falls eventually, and that altar is still going over to Dignitas, and that's an important one. Only 2 shots fired, but now we have 14 against 9 shots. Freedom controlling 6 of the bell towers.
But can Dignitas take the map back? That's my question here. You look at Abathur, that slogan's going to be a menace for the entire duration of the game. You have Neil coming in, you have the passive Locust push, and now Team Freedom has turned their attention to the bottom. They realize Dignitas is working on the middle and the top lane, so if they can take this bell tower back, suddenly they have that normal pressure that you're used to seeing on this battleground.
I mean, Urella at the top is doing such a good job of recapturing the bell tower, and they've already taken back middle. So they have a really good chance of getting back the control. Nice stay while listen, just barely hitting Karazim and even using the taunt, but not really getting that properly off here. Not quite the effect that they were hoping for. Can't bait Karazim in, so Collusion simply walks away from this one.
Obvious lag there coming in for JPL. Can I have the Mule come in?
Yeah, it was definitely a 3-2-3 moment at the end.
Yeah, his ping was definitely a 2 or something there.
Yeah, lag F.
Bell tower gets taken down. Team Freedom try to hold on to it, but the Mule is not enough. Team Dignitas fully commit, but look in the middle of the map. As they're continuing to siege, the boss also being grabbed. Team Freedom grabs 4 more shots.
They take the shots here, and those are important ones. 10 against 9. Loving this game here. Freedom really with a cool approach to the map, and Abathur being an absolute menace in that late game. The control that Freedom has over the macro is showing at every turn. And lesser teams than Dignitas would have fallen against this North American team a long time ago. The control through Mule and the way that the lanes are getting pushed out here by Freedom definitely show that they are way more than a team that can only take team fights.
I mean, we can hear the late game, and suddenly we're back to the 3 altars for both teams. I can't believe we've gotten to this point. 10-9 in terms of score. 2 altars spawning in 6 seconds of Team Freedom. They keep the pressure up. They have sappers in the top left, and they're setting up to grab the immediate altar on the top right.
And soon we're going to talk Storm talents, and that's exactly how a lot of the action comes in. You pointed it out earlier. There's fantastic talents coming online for Freedom. So are there for Dignitas. This is going to explode even more once we have them in play.
Just dancing around Team Dignitas. A 20 about to hit, 6-5. It is coming down to the wire on Towers of Doom.
5 points against 6, and there's the 20s already in play with especially the rewind. Rewind and get stuffed on Zogrux, Muradin, and Lutano's Tracer are going to have a massive impact here. Transgression for Karazim, the extra damage, and we have the Hive Mind. Void Prison is being set up here. They need to be careful down at the bot lane. The rest of the team is already attempting to move in here, and once more it's Zelia who makes sure that Freedom is not getting the engage.
Risky play there from Team Dignitas, and they realize it too, using Heroics just to get away from the fight into the fray as well. Void Prison, 80 seconds, it will not be up. That means an altar could be spawning soon, and they may not have VP to force the issue.
That's a massive problem, baiting out the Void Prison here. Able to draw that out is huge, and now we're having a massive collapse into the mid lane where they're trying to get again more map control, even committing to the copy here on Abathur, and they get the bell tower. Great position here for Freedom when it comes to overall map control for them now, with a rotation towards the top lane as they're attempting to take another one down.
Team Freedom has been absolutely surgical, and Team Dignitas may have to pull out a meat tenderizer. They're going straight to the bottom lane here, and they're going to work on this bell tower. They have sappers to back it up as well. They can't keep letting Team Freedom dance around them.
Yeah, right now you want to make sure that you defend the bot lane though, because there's 3 mercenaries again, and we still have that Garrosh factor. But they are giving it up. They're simply letting them take it as like, boys, we don't really care. There are other shots fired, and that puts Freedom down to 2 points on the core. The altar is on the map, and if Dignitas takes this one, then it is over.
At the same time, if Team Freedom takes it, Dignitas will still have 1 shot left on their core. We're going to have a full-fledged team fight here in the bottom lane. Both teams are willing to put the game on this altar.
It comes down to this one. Abathur might even go in for a slap here because this one is going to get close. Once again, we're seeing the Symbiote coming in play, and Dignitas attempting to secure the position here. Lutano, it's all on him right now. It's all on Tracer, trying to dodge these attacks, being careful. Snitch and also Reyna are both looking for him. Whoopi is trying to get it, and he actually might. He gets the shots, and that's going to be game to stay a while. And listen, from Zelia is making it happen. The attempts to interrupt not successful as Dignitas sneaks in the altar and takes the game.
Sneak is a proper word there, Caldor. Barely getting it through. Wubby getting the last couple of shots. Team Freedom comes into Towers of Doom with an unorthodox strategy, and they nearly pulled it off to perfection, but the last couple of seconds not going into their favor.
I can't believe that just happened.
I'm actually kind of shocked.
If I'm Freedom, I feel robbed at this point. They push it into the late game towards level 20. They get the one team fight they want, and then just barely the channel goes through. The stay a while listen is there, and the body block afterwards. It's actually the body block that prevents Murden from moving in and getting it. Abathur maybe with the spike could have done it,
yeah.
But at that point, it's insane that Dignitas gets away with this without even having to fight for it. And we come back to the Mercenaries. The 3 shots that they didn't
let it go through.
If those don't go through, the Altar doesn't finish the game, but that was an insane finish.
Yeah, Team Freedom consciously allowed for the Zappers to go through because they expected to be able to contest that fight. They were willing to put it all onto the last team fight, and they just did not pull it off. I don't know what it is with North American teams in the last objective. That actually happened to Octalysis as well on Volskaya Foundry, where the objective was just given away. But still, slight timings hurting Team Freedom here. But you gotta love the strategy they brought out here on this battleground. That was fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of an NA little moment here at the end, but Freedom deserves so much respect for the way that they are currently playing this. They go up against Dignitas, and Dig takes it with a 3-0. But the way that Freedom presents themselves here at the Western Clash is absolutely impressive, and you can only have a lot of respect for the team. They go down into the lower bracket, but whoever faces them next needs to be really, really careful, because this team is here to stay.
Well, Team Dignitas